funk. Thoughts deep, boys steeped in the depths that he sunk. Big stress, depressed in the middle of fall. Sky gray, I late in the thick of it all. I wonder, how long can a human survive just staying alive or carrying the rest of the tribe? Waiting for the day to arrive or struggling dies, and I be doing way, way more than getting by. So why? Cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Realize life is so much more than just living a day. Every day I can sit and reflect and reconnect to myself and all that I've been given. See, giving up is not an option. So when I'm looking at gray skies, I'll be adopting a new way to deal with a test. Lord, relieve me of stress, the ring be looking like when blessings dropping. And so I cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, here we go. Yeah, let's do this. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Test. Let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Woo.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
I emasculated my ex-husband 3 specific ways: control, criticism and comparison. I was in control of everything. I controlled how the dishes went in. If he loaded the dishwasher and it wasn't good enough, the way he was going to lead our team, it wasn't good enough. The way he managed everything wasn't good enough. Nothing he did was ever good enough. And then I let him know out loud, like I criticized everything that he did and told him how it should have been done better. And perfection was the standard that I held for him. So nothing was ever good enough, because I was comparing me and him. And I had this self-righteous view of myself that I knew the way and my way was better. And nothing he ever did was enough. And eventually it created a man that was apathetic, that was resigned to not do anything. Why should he show up? If I'm gonna redo it, or if I'm gonna do it better, or if he's gonna get criticized, why should he show up? And then that caused further division in our relationship, because he would say that he was going to do something and then just not. And it created this big void in respect. And where I got it wrong in the respect category was I was waiting for him to show up as perfect in order for me to begin to respect him. I didn't ever respect his effort. I didn't ever respect the progress. I didn't respect anything. And that caused
Someone say something. Being a woman doesn't mean he owes you everything.
I remember my grandfather telling me, God rest his soul, before he passed away, that men have 4 different appetites that you have to tend to. He said, men are not complicated. He said, I'm just going to break it down to you. He told me, he said, men have a physical appetite, a visual appetite, a sexual appetite, and an emotional appetite. And for a minute, I really didn't understand it when I was younger, but as I got older, it really started to click. It always stayed with me. He said, physically, you need to make sure that you know how to cook. And if you don't know how to cook, then find out how to cook. And if you can't, then at least have a meal on the stove or in the stove. By the time he get there, that's warm, especially if that man is taking care of the household. He said, it don't take a lot of work. He said it don't. And I watched my grandmother do it. I watched her do it, so I know that I'm capable. He said a visual appetite. He said, keep yourself up. He said, if you're the only woman that this man is going to be with, at least keep yourself up. He said, because men still need to be stimulated visually, so that way they can crave you. He said, and yeah, he said, love will still be there. He said, and although your looks will fade, you the one woman that he wants to look at. Give him something, excite him, make him imagine something, tease him, right? And then there's a sexual. My grandfather told me, he said that, yes, visually you can stimulate a man. He said, but don't forget that men are sexual in nature. He said, and so they're going to want to do what they want to do to their woman. You're the only woman that he's sleeping with. You're the only woman that he desired. Take some time out of y'all day. He said, look, if y'all got to share the responsibilities, share the responsibilities. You both do things in the house, so that way when the kids are down, y'all both can bathe and oil each other down and do what y'all need to do. He said, that's going to help y'all connect. And then last one, he said, men do have an emotional appetite. He said, all men want to feel is appreciated, understood, heard. That's it. He said, just listen to him. You don't got to talk much. Just listen. He always told me that men are not that complicated. He's absolutely right.
Salute everybody. Salute. Welcome. Welcome to the lounge. Welcome to the lounge. Yeah. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up, man. Y'all know the deal. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Go ahead, hit that thumbs up, because we need it, y'all. We need it tonight. We need them thumbs up tonight, y'all. So y'all could support the channel. Appreciate y'all tuning in for this episode. We got a lot to talk about tonight, y'all. We really do, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight. One of the main things we're going to talk about tonight is this. Why do modern women fumble good men? You know, normally they fumble good men, but they always go for the most dustiest dudes out there. And when I mean dustiest dudes, I mean the dudes that's like bottom of the barrel. I mean them type of dudes that you know that they're a rotten fruit, but yet still you pick that fruit, you pluck it, and you could see the worms crawling all out of it and everything, right? And then you look at it and you still want to try to nourish it. You still want to try to preserve it. You'll even try to eat that damn thing too. I'm just saying. You even try to eat that damn thing too. So we want to We want to investigate this. We want to investigate why modern women fumble good men for the dustiest men out there. Then they end up going for these said type of men, right? These dusty men, right? And guess what? They be the one who be toxic. They be the one who need mental help, right? They the one who need therapy. They the one who not taking care of the household. They the one who's not treating you right as a woman. Not even consider you as a woman to be given in the first place. All he see you as is that's a goddamn cum bucket. But yet it's still these modern women choose these type of men, right? They're right after that, right after this dude using the bruiser like over and over and over again, right? That's when the modern woman get tired of them, right? And she decided that she just had this revelation moment. She decided that, you know what, I'm going to change my life. You know what, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change my mentality. I'm going to, go to church, right? Find the Lord. Then finally, I'm going to go back to the good man that I fumbled in the past. Why did they do that? They have the expectation in return that this same man that you fumbled in the past, that he was supposed to come back to you with open arms. Why do y'all do that? Why do modern women do that? We're going to talk about it tonight, y'all. We're going to investigate that tonight. And we got some other stuff that I want to talk about as well, too, that I want to share with y'all, too. But first of all, appreciate everybody who is here right now. Do me a favor. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up because it lets YouTube know that you want more of this content, all right? Appreciate it. Got a lot of work I got to do tonight, y'all. So help me out. At least help me out on there, y'all. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone who's in the building right now. And Constance and Lionel, I see y'all in the chat. And Bougie Barb, I see y'all in the chat as well, too. Appreciate y'all a whole lot. And I also appreciate everyone who are either in the bushes or you're catching the replay of the stream. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this episode. Appreciate y'all. But like I said, we got a lot that we're going to talk about tonight. I got a lot of work to do tonight to present this thought-provoking content for y'all. Before we get into the main show tonight, there is something that I do want to share with y'all. Oh, also, y'all let me know what y'all think about the pre-show clips that I share with y'all as well too. Do you believe that the women who was presenting themselves, that was giving you pointers about how the way men think and how the way men operate in their desires? Do you believe that they was on point on this, or do you believe that they are bullshitting?
That's bullshit.
Y'all let me know in the comments. Those of y'all who didn't catch it, go back and look at the clips at the one pre-show, all right? So without further ado, before we get into the main content, I do want to share this with y'all real quick. There was a content creator, right? He's really more popular on TikTok than anything. This content creator, he had a interesting crash out, okay? He had a very interesting crash out, and the thing about it is that what people was called as a crash out, right? Those people laughing at him, there's people joking about it and different things like that. But in reality, when I saw this clip on TikTok, you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about men's mental health, and that's facts. That's what I was thinking about. That's what I was thinking about, men's mental health. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share with you this clip with this content creator where he, as they say, allegedly he had one crash out and stuff, right? And he was just talking about things that he was dealing with in his everyday life. And to be quite honest with y'all, when I saw this, I could honestly relate to how the way he's feeling. And to be honest with you, I believe a lot of y'all can relate to how the way he's feeling as well too. So without further ado, let's get into it real quick, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up.
I got a call this morning from AAA. AAA is a car insurance company. Car insurance is something that you pay for because you have to for some reason. When you become an adult and you attempt to live in society, every single aspect of being alive costs between $100 and $1,000 to $2,000. Every single thing. And the older that you get, the more things keep being added. So you work like a dog all month so that you can afford every single hand that's sticking out in your face saying, you have to pay this because otherwise you won't have car insurance because you need car insurance to drive, and you need car insurance because you have to drive a car and you have to go to your job and you have to do all this stuff. And please, if you're thinking at this point, well, you don't have to have car insurance. If you want to drive a car, then you have to get insurance because that's your decision. No, it isn't. No, it's not my decision because I live in a city that is car dependent. I live in a country that is car dependent. So don't be fucking cute and say that I should take the Los Angeles Metro. Spare me. Got a call this morning from AAA law enforcement. Or fucking goddamn it. From AAA, I don't even know what it, from AAA car insurance. AAA car insurance. And they said, Mr. Henschel, there's a problem. Another thing about being an adult is that you have something called a cell phone. On your cell phone, you get about 100 calls a week that are complete gibberish nonsense from a basement in Malaysia. You get 100 phone calls a week from random series of numbers. If you answer the phone call, you will hear complete silence. You also get one phone call a week that if you don't pick it up, it will ruin your life. So somewhere in there is an extremely important phone call. The same thing happens with your mail. Every week, you get 1,000 fucking pieces of trash. And one very, very important letter that if you don't answer, you go to jail. This morning, I got one of those phone calls in the magic grab bag. And I picked it up. It was AAA. And they said, Mr. Henschel, unfortunately, it seems that there was a lapse in your coverage because you switched your driver's license. You had a Maryland driver's license, and then you got a California driver's license. And you need to give us your California driver's license information now. Otherwise, you don't get to have car insurance. And if you drive your car, you can go to jail. So I said, okay. Keep in mind also, the thing that really bothers me about all these people, car insurance, credit card, landlords, fucking everybody, the utility company, the water company, they all speak to you as though you are voluntarily doing this, as though they are doing you a favor. I don't want to pay for any of this shit. I don't want to do any of this. I didn't ask to do any of this at all. I didn't ask for it. I didn't even have to be fucking alive. I don't want to do this. I don't want to pay my car insurance. I don't want car insurance. I don't want to give you my new driver's license. I don't want to fucking do that, but I have to for some fucking reason, because for some fucking reason, in order to be alive, you have to pay 20 different people $200. And you have...
Real quick, y'all. So far, do y'all believe that his crash out is valid, or you think it's just some straight up bullshit?
That's bullshit.
But what would y'all think? Do y'all believe it's valid, or do you think it's someone straight up bullshit? SBK, salute. Manja, salute. What's up with it? And salute to everybody who's on tuning in again. First of all, before we get into the main topic, I want to share this video of this content creator because he literally had like a crash out on his TikTok. And so when I was reviewing this content, right, and I was looking at the comment section, a lot of people was kind of doing the same thing. You know how people are reacting in the lounge right now. There are some people, you know, that was the straight up laughing about it. There were others, you know, they didn't know what to think about it. You know, they don't know whether to laugh or to be afraid, you know, like what Barb said. We had others, you know what I'm saying, they, you know, it is what it is. So I'm just curious to get y'all perspective on this because, once again, I want y'all to consider everything that he's talking about. I want y'all to consider everything he's talking about from a mental perspective. Remember, last month we was covering heavily talking about men's mental health, okay? I want to present this to y'all that this is something that men actually be thinking about on an everyday basis, where we trying to figure out things for their life. We're trying to figure out why we do the stuff that we do. Why do we have to be protectors and providers? Why do we have to pay out money to all these unknown entities? You know what I'm saying? Why we got to do this? Why we got to do that? Just so we could live life. Why we got to pay for necessary things in our life? You know what I'm saying? Like food and water, when that should essentially be given to us for free. Why we have to do these different things, you know what I'm saying? So let's listen to him a little bit further. This what we discuss. Salute as well too. Let's continue to hear what you got to say.
I keep reciting random digits of numbers. Everything about being alive is just fucking numbers over and over again. Important numbers for this, important numbers for that. You gotta type in this password, you gotta type in this number, you gotta type in this thing, and if you get it wrong, you're gonna go to jail. I didn't say any of this to the lady. I just said, sure, let me just give you this fucking number so that I can move on with my life and attempt to enjoy anything about anything. Here it is. Click, clack, click, clack, click, clacks for a little while. And then she says, I'm sorry, Mr. Henschel. We can't offer you coverage. So I said, excuse me, because I've had AAA for 3 fucking years. What's the problem? And she said, well, it appears that you were in an accident about a year ago. And I said, yeah, I was. I was in a fender bender. My one accident that I've had in the past 5 years. I drive because I'm forced to by society. I drive for about 75% of my day, every day. And one fucking time, an old lady cut in front of me going 20 miles per hour on the freeway, and I couldn't slow down in time, and I bumped her in the back of the car. Remember, this is a satire account. And she said, well, it appears that this was a 2-point accident. And I was like, what does that fucking mean? Everything is numbers, remember. Random numbers that mean something for some reason.
Once again, salute to everyone who's tuning into the lounge right now. Make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel. And let YouTube know that you want more of this thought-provoking content. Queen the Queen, I see you in the building. And everybody else who are either watching in the bushes or you're catching the replay. Salute to y'all. This is the part of the pre-show until we get into the main content. I want to get y'all perspective on this because remember, last month we was covering about men's mental health, okay? I'm gonna give y'all my commentary on this once when he's finished doing what he's doing, crashing out or wherever this is. All right.
2-point accident, and we can only insure you if you have a 1-point accident. So I was like, what does that mean? And she said, well, a 2-point accident is when the person claims injury. So you hit this person, and then apparently she was injured. So I was like, well, how do we know that? I mean, what do you mean she was injured? It was a very, very light accident. And so what if she was injured? Last I checked, the only conceivable point of having car insurance is in case something like this happens. That's what car insurance is supposed to be for, in theory. When you think about if there is any rational reason why you would need to have car insurance, it is for the purpose that if at one point during the 75% of your life that you're in a fucking car, you happen to get in an accident, you're not completely fucked. So, why, if I got in one accident, am I fucked anyway? Because the last time that I checked, the reason I was paying for this fucking shit, $200 a month, $300 a month, was in case anything happened, right? So then why, if something happens, then am I not allowed to have the insurance that I fucking paid for in case something happened? Why did I bother then? What are you for? Are you just a fucking mafia that you come to collect your $200 every fucking month? And if I need to use your service for anything, then I'm totally fucked because then I can't renew your stupid fucking insurance. And I said, so I didn't say any of this. I just said very politely, well, I was kind of stunned for a minute because all of that was going through my head. And I said, well, what are my options then? And she said, well, now you can't be insured by AAA, so we work with another agency who blah, 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 and then we'll call this person, and they'll call you, and then you call them, and then they'll give you the numbers, and then you give them the numbers, and then you'll have to pay a much bigger number than you were already paying before. The point I'm trying to illustrate here is, what the fuck? I didn't ask for any of this. I, this morning, woke up and I said, God fucking damn it. I just need a fucking win. I just need one thing. Just one thing. Please, God. I don't believe in God. But I said a prayer last night. I said, God, can you please just let one good thing happen tomorrow? Because I gotta be honest here. I'm paying all these random corporations my entire paycheck. And I can't figure out why. I don't want to, but I have to. I have to pay rent. I have to pay my bullshit. Why?
So let's talk about it, y'all. Now, once again, I can understand the part where people will look at his son crash out, and people they'll begin to like either make fun of it, they'll laugh about it, different things like that. I can understand that, because of his energy that he's presenting behind it. It could be very comical. You know what I mean? So I get that part. And I'm not saying those of y'all who veered this way that there's something wrong with you, okay? Or said that you are bad, or you're the devil or anything like that. No, I'm not saying that to y'all, okay? But what I do want y'all to do is consider this, okay? Once again, last month I had dealt heavily with men's mental health, okay? I want y'all to understand this from a man's perspective, right? I want y'all to understand that from a man's perspective, we go through a lot of bullshit in this world. In fact, we could just dumb it down. We go through a lot of bullshit that's dealing with culture and social norms, period, man. We have a lot on our plate. We have a lot that we put on our shoulders every single day. We do. There are some men out there where you could consider them as more privileged than other men, right? Then there are other men who are like myself and others where we're considered as, a little bit average, maybe just a slight above average, you know what I'm saying? Then you have the low level men as well too. But I want y'all to understand that once again, we carry a lot on our shoulders. We have a lot of responsibility that we have to do as men. Okay. And once again, I'm saying as men, but I'm not talking about the dusties or the dudes who are not doing that. I'm talking about strictly men who are out there, who are about their business. They know what they need to do to take care of not only themselves, but their families and also their communities. Them are the type of men that I'm talking about in this particular situation. Okay. So we carry a lot of weight on our shoulders. We do. We carry a lot. We carry the cross that we carry is very, very, very heavy. It is. Like I told y'all last month, we don't necessarily have this outlet where we could just let it out and just express ourselves. The reason why I asked y'all, matter of fact, those of y'all who was on the stream last night, right, when I was debating with ChatGPT literally told us that, hey, men do not have a outlet where they can literally express themselves how the way they want to. The reason why is due to social norms. Social norm states that men have to be the strong men, that men have to carry on the burden, that man is supposed to withhold all these things, keep this within us. That's what social norm teaches us. Social norm teaches us that men mental health do not matter, period. Because we're considered as the strong one in every way possible, physically, mentally, and spiritually. But in reality, ladies and gentlemen, that's just not true. This gentleman right here that we are watching right now, I honestly believe that he utilized his platform to vent out his frustration about everyday life, about things that he deal with on this everyday life. And I know it's satire. I know it's something that's simple, right? You know what I mean? You know, in his situation, he is talking about as simple as getting coverage on insurance. But I want to present to y'all that something as simple as that means a lot to this man. Imagine other men out there who are dealing with other situations other than insurance. They might be dealing with relationship issues. They may be dealing with their job issues. They may be dealing with trying to get a job. They may be dealing with being worked and you're not being valued at your job or company. You know what I'm saying? Different things. They may not be even valued, you know, with their family or their children or their loved ones, but whatever the case may be, or they may say things like what me and Lina would say, is that maybe God is trolling the hell out of us. So we got all these things that we deal with, all these different burdens that we deal with every single day, and we necessarily do not have an outlet to just get it all out. Because if we don't get it all out, then guess what's going to happen? Ladies, guess what's going to happen? We are going to eventually release it somewhere. It is not going to be in a good way. This is where you start dealing with these men who become narcissistic, these men who become sociopath and psychopaths. They end up developing bipolar disorders. They end up developing schizophrenia and all these different mental illness. You know what I'm saying? They end up developing all these things simply because they just end up crashing out and their mind just snap. They literally snap. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I'm sharing this clip tonight with y'all is because I want to demonstrate to y'all how much of, other things that men go through. Now, keep in mind, I'm not discrediting that women go through things. I'm not discrediting it at all, because I know women go through things as well too, you know what I'm saying? Because I honestly know that women go through things, especially our bullshit as men. I know that. I understand that. I get it. But at the end of the day, we are the leaders of the community. We're the leaders of the household. We're the leaders of the community. Even spiritually and religiously speaking, we are the leaders. So we have a higher accountability than women to carry on the duties of the family, to carry the duties on the community, to carry the duties of spirituality, or whatever the case may be, if you believe in God or not. We have that duty to do that, period. We do. So we carry a whole lot more burden, a whole lot more load. And so it is, to be honest, it is up to us, first of all, as men, for us to develop a certain type of community or brotherhood within us where we could talk to each other about the things that bothers us every single day. Also, ladies, it is your responsibility as a nurturer to allow your man to have that space, to have that safe space to where he could go and vent himself out. Let you know how the way he's feeling without you judging him, without you calling him a beta, without you saying that he's being sassy, without you laughing at him or teasing him. He deserves that space, just like you deserve that space. Because I guarantee, this gentleman right here, I guarantee that if he truly had that space to where he could go to his woman and display how the way he's feeling, I guarantee that this man would not be on TikTok expressing how the way he feels to some strangers that's simply going to judge and laugh at him like this. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So we're fixing to get deeper into this conversation, y'all. All right. Tonight's main topic that we're going to talk about is why modern women fumble good men for the dustiest, for the most messed up, the low barrel hanging fruit men out there. Those of y'all who wasn't in earlier, I gave the analogy of a woman going and picking a fruit, right, from a fruit tree. It could be an apple, orange, wherever the hell you want it to be, right? It don't matter. But I gave this analogy stated that this woman go up to this tree. Now, it's in reality, the tree is plentiful. The tree is plentiful. There's nothing wrong with the tree at all, period. You know what I'm saying? It's not rotting or anything like that. So it's producing fruit. But the thing about it is that this tree going to produce different type of qualities of fruit. It's going to produce fruit that are very, very good. Then it's going to produce fruit that is not so good. Or it may be a good fruit and it becomes contaminated. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, for example, the planter or the farmer, whoever the case may be, who planted the tree, right? He or she may have used some type of toxin to contaminate or mutate the tree. And next thing you know, you got messed up fruit that is not good. Or it could be conditional wise as well too, where the tree is in a certain type of climate, you know what I'm saying, like it's too hot or whatever, right? And so the higher fruit or surviving because they under the shades of the leaves and stuff, right? But the lower hanger fruits is not under the shades, and so guess what? They're subject to becoming rotten. They're subject to for foreign objects such as worms and insects and different things like that to get inside them and contaminate them, right? But the thing about it is that women tend to see this fruit, right? Look at it, knowing good aware that the fruit is contaminated. Instead of them putting in the effort and getting the best quality fruit for their situation, right? They become lazy and complacent and end up getting the lowest hanging fruit possible. They see this good fruit, but they know it's going to take a lot of work to get in that fruit, meaning that it's going to take a lot for them to change, especially if that woman has certain type of toxic behavior. She know that she's going to have to change. She knows she's going to have to do different things to qualify for this type of man. But guess what she do? Instead of her going through that process of changing, she become lazy, she become complacent, and she end up going for the lowest hanging fruit. Grab that fruit, thinking in her mind that she could change this fruit, that she can make this fruit become what it needs to be, but it already been contaminated. Don't this sound familiar? Don't this sound like what modern women do often, where they go after this type of fruit, right? And next thing you know, they get this fruit, they bite this fruit, and next thing you know, this fruit end up poisoning them, messing up their body, messing up their mind, messing up their spirit, so much so, right? Then guess what they do? After when that happens, right? After when that happens, they finally realize that this fruit is not good, and that's eventually when they end up try to go after the one higher hanging fruit. But guess what? The woman has already been contaminated by the rotten fruit. She'd have got parasites within her body now. She'd have developed some type of diseases in her body and stuff as well too. Her mind is clouded. Her mind is even more messed up than how it was in the beginning, right? And then have the audacity to finally try to get that higher hanging fruit. But the expectations is different now. The expectation is different because she believes in her mind that this higher hanging fruit could simply save her, and that is absolutely facts. She believed by getting this higher hanging fruit, and if she were to get this higher hanging fruit and she could get it and grab it and bite into it, the nutrients and everything else would literally save her. But I want y'all to understand this. The moment when she do that right, and that fruit allow her to do that right, guess what she's doing? She's once again contaminated that fruit. She's draining that fruit. She's draining all the resource and the nutrients from that fruit. Because keep in mind, she have not changed. Her mind is messed up. Her mind is contaminated. Her spirit is contaminated. Her body's contaminated. And now she's using that fruit as a resource to help her. Messed up that fruit, and the cycle continues on and on and on, where she continues to go and try to grab more fruit, and messing it up over and over again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the reality of what men go through with dealing with modern women, especially good men when they deal with modern women, where these modern women end up fumbling them, right? They say to these good men that they're not good enough for them. They say that I'm looking for something more. Or they would get with them, right, and simply mess this dude all the way up. And guess what? End up gaslighting and blaming the dude. I'm just saying. I do have one video that I want y'all to consider, right? I do got a couple of videos tonight that I want y'all to consider. I have a main video, and I want to share this video as well too with y'all. And I want to get y'all honest perspective on this, all right? I want to get y'all one honest perspective on these clips that I'm sharing with y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it before we get to it. Once again, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up to support the channel, all right? I appreciate everyone who are tuning in right now. And I'll get to the questions, the comments in a little bit as well too. So let's go ahead and get into this first clip tonight. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, okay? Let's get it.
You waking up to breakfast and head in the bed. Appreciate that man. Go all out your way for that man. And what they say about that man that open up doors, buy you flowers, that's soft and sweet, that tell you that you're beautiful and how much you mean to them. Y'all don't appreciate them type. They don't care about expressing their feelings on how they feel about you. They gonna let you know that you're the most beautiful woman in the world. And they gonna show actions. Y'all might say them type are too soft or too nice. That is the type that's going to love you correctly. You're not going to have to ask that man to be a man to you. You're not going to have to ask him to love you correctly. You're not going to feel alone by yourself. Like you don't got nobody when you're dealing with somebody. Don't hurt them man. Protect them man. Don't make them angry like the rest. Be loyal to that person. When you get that person, hold on to that person. Because they are hard to come by. That man is loving. He opened up the doors for you. He don't disrespect you. He's calm. He's not aggressive. He know how to protect you when that time needs to come. He's going to protect you. He's not going to let nobody disrespect you. That's your safe place. He's not going to judge you. He's going to uplift you, push you, and motivate you. He's not going to dog you, belittle you, or call you out your name. That is a real man right there. Y'all need to stop mistreating a man. That man came into your life to love you and give you a love that you ain't never had before. Don't take that man for granted. Don't belittle that man. Don't disrespect that man. Don't tell that man he's too nice. You better appreciate that man. Don't lose that man. That man don't even know how to cook, but he learned how to cook just for you. You waking up to breakfast and head in the bed. Appreciate that man. Go all out your way for that man. Do things that you ain't never did for nobody. Do it for that man because that man deserve it.
Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about it. I want to present this to y'all tonight, okay? Do y'all know that the good man, right? The good man that y'all call corny or soft or square, different things like that, right? Do y'all know that this dude do everything possible to put himself into the position where he be accepted within the social norm. He do everything possible. He do things to better himself physically, where he's going out to the gym, he's working out. He do things to better himself mentally as well too, where he's always meditating. He's always not only meditating, he's always doing things to strengthen his mind. He's reading books, he's learning, he's adapting, and he's doing all these mental things to help him. He's in the safe space mentally, you know what I'm saying? He's doing things spiritually as well too. He has some type of spirituality, whether or not he believes in the Most High God or not. He develops some type of spirituality, whether it's stoicism or wherever the case may be, right? He has some type of spirituality that's grounded and rooted in him, or what he calls a moral compass. Okay, so he do all these things to better himself. He also better himself financially as well too. So he do all these things to better himself and improve himself every single day. Now, if this good man is doing this right, if he's doing all of this possible to make himself a better man, where he could qualify for the type of woman that he desires, right? Would it be logical for the women to do the same exact thing, for them to better themselves the same exact way? Not better themselves because they want to be a feminist, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to be better than a man or anything like that, but better themselves because they're simply good human beings, you know what I'm saying? Why not just simply just do that? Start bettering yourself. Just better yourself. Do the same as that thing that these men are doing. A matter of fact, it'll be beneficial for women to actually learn. Just like on this video with this woman, right? Where she just giving you on different qualities of a man. The other video that I shared with y'all in the pre-show earlier, right? It was some women that was explaining the same as that thing, where they was telling you about the quality of a man and telling you these different things that men desire as well too. So it would be beneficial for women out there to learn more about the man, not try to compete with men like feminism teach you to do, right? But to actually learn with men. Now, this is going to be the only time that I use this partnership thing that y'all love saying, partnership in a relationship, partnership. But this is going to be the only time I'm going to use this word in this particular situation. If you're saying that you want to be in a partnership with a man, right? It would be beneficial for you to learn everything that you need to know about your said partner, correct? Same thing when you're in a business, right? You're not going to be in a business relationship without you knowing the business, right? Correct? So it'd be beneficial for you to know everything about your partner. Know everything about him. Know what's his strengths, what's his weaknesses, what you can do to contribute, everything. What type of talent and resources that you can give that would be a added vicinity to the thing that you're looking for, or the thing that you desire in the partnership or the relationship. It would benefit you to be that way. This is what this woman in this current clip is telling women to do, is that, hey, if you with this type of man, right, that you know he's a good man, you know he's doing everything possible to be the best version of himself, then guess what? You could partner with that man and pretty much bring value to both of y'all. That's facts. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I want y'all also consider this these next couple of clips, all right? And this clip is the main clip of the hour, okay, that we're going to discuss, all right? Now, this young lady here, she's going to tell us a story, okay? She's going to tell us a story how she literally fumbled a good man. And I want y'all to listen closely to the things that she did to fumble this good man.
I fumbled the man I probably should have married, and I'm making this post so that y'all don't do the same thing that I did. This is an accountability post. I met him on Hinge, and this was back when the algorithm was working a lot better, and it was like 2022, I believe. I didn't like his profile. I just knew he was gonna like me, and the next day he did. Normally I name names, but just in case he has a new girl and they're at peace, I don't want to disrupt his situation, so I'm not gonna name his name. But anyway, we met up quickly, we went on a date, and we ended up being like glued to each other pretty fast. We were like in a relationship within like a month, I believe. He locked it down. He was not trying to see me single. This man was fine. He was like 6'3", buff, long hair. He looked like Roman Reigns. Society would easily give him a 9, easily. And if you know me, you know who I'm talking about. But frankly, his looks were pretty irrelevant, honestly. He actually was very kind, very sweet, very empathetic, very emotional, very in tune with his emotions, but also quite emotional. And, you know, he just had a lot of very positive traits. The number one being, he did not play about me at all. We went to brunch with his brother and sister-in-law, and they were kind of cold, like not really like, I don't know, warming up to me. And he called that out immediately. He was like, absolutely not. When his brother was not trying to get to know me after like we had met, he was like, can you put more effort in with Britt? Like, that's my girl. Like, put some respect on Britt's name. Like, he did not play about me at all. I had never in my life dated a man like that. I had never dated a man who was on my side. Like, who, like, I don't know, defended me. I've never had that before. He also impressed my parents. My mom liked him a lot. She said I broke his heart, and honestly, I agree. But yes, my parents liked him a lot. So we dated for like 6 months, and I kept feeling like something was just missing throughout the relationship. Like, something just felt like it was missing. And I would communicate that to him, like, oh, I like you a lot, I love you, but like, something's just missing. And I didn't know what it was, and this poor guy was just doing his best to try to figure out what was missing, like trying to make adjustments, but like he just couldn't figure it out, and neither could I, because I didn't have the self-awareness that I have now. What was missing was chaos. No matter how many adjustments he was willing to make, he couldn't adjust himself to become a chaotic, toxic man when he just wasn't that. And that
so y'all heard what she said, right? She said that he had all the qualities of a good man. She had all the qualities that she was looking for in a man, but he was lacking one thing. He was lacking chaos. This man was lacking chaos.
What?
This man was lacking chaos.
That's bullshit.
Remember when I told y'all, Lounge family, how the way modern women, their mindset is set on being chaotic. That they love chaos. They love chaos. They love drama. Even more so, they have this weird expectation that the quality of a man is totally dependent on them being protectors and provider, and for them to be chaotic and have drama, just like they chaotic and drama mindset. This is what she said. But I want y'all to listen to this, okay? So y'all can understand this.
I love you, but like, something's just missing. And I didn't know what it was, and this poor guy was just doing his best to try to figure out what was missing, like trying to make adjustments, but like he just couldn't figure it out, and neither could I, because I didn't have the self-awareness that I have now. What was missing was chaos. No matter how many adjustments he was willing to make, he couldn't adjust himself to become a chaotic, toxic man when he just wasn't that. And that's all I had ever been used to.
She had the expectation that she wanted Buddy to literally change who he is, to literally redefine everything that he worked hard to be. He worked hard to be the one type of man that he is currently with her, right? He did. I want y'all to understand this. I want y'all to understand when a woman tell a man that he needs to be this different type of behavior, do you understand that that's a slap at his face? Not only that's a slap at his face, that is literally telling that man that you are not good enough for me. That's what it's saying. It's literally saying that fuck what you done went through. Fuck everything that you done went through, you done gone through and stuff, right? That you done dealt with to get you to the point where you now stable, right? Forget all that. Because it's not good enough for me. Because I want you to be this certain type of way that's going to what? Make her happy. It's not about his happiness. It's not about her accepting him for him, because I know that's one of the talking point that modern women use all the time. We should just accept each other for how the way we are. Nope, that's some absolute bullshit. If she's not going to accept him for who he is, then why in the hell should he accept her? Now, to be honest with you, by her telling this story, I'm pretty sure that Buddy started trying to do things to please her, to satisfy her. This is where this simping part start kicking in. And this is why I tell men all the time that, hey, do not simp, do not change who you are. Because the moment when you start doing that, all these women going to do is going to use and abuse you. That's ultimately what's going to happen. And they're going to end up breaking up with you and going after the dustiest ass man after. And they're just facts. But let's continue.
See, I had not taken the time to like truly heal myself after my relationship prior to him, which was with an abusive guy. Very abusive.
Don't it always end that way as well too? Y'all remember when I was giving y'all the analogy about the one low-hanging fruit and stuff, right? And I was telling y'all that they end up biting into that low-hanging fruit and then they end up getting messed up, right? So instead of them taking the time out and healing themselves, right, guess what they do? They immediately get out of that messed up, got all this messed up toxins and everything like that in them, parasites in them and everything, right? They got all this stuff in them, right? And instead of healing, they end up going into the next relationship. And now she's going into the next relationship. And now guess what? She's the parasite. She's the toxic person. So now she's sitting up here literally contaminating this dude. But let's continue, y'all. Now, just like I say, the things that I say, I have a reason and a purpose to why I say it, all right?
And neither could I, because I didn't have the self-awareness that I have now. What was missing was chaos. No matter how many adjustments he was willing to make, he couldn't adjust himself to become a chaotic, toxic man when he just wasn't that. And that's all I had ever been used to. You see, I had not taken the time to like truly heal myself after my relationship prior to him, which was with an abusive guy. Very abusive, emotionally avoidant guy. Emotionally unavailable, everything. Okay, I had not healed from that. Not enough to be with a person who was safe. And so one day when he pissed me off, I broke up with him like on a whim. Because the majority of my prior relationships were with like antagonistic men, I was not ready to receive someone who was safe and loving and kind and caring. Maybe I didn't think I deserved it. Maybe I couldn't recognize what it was. My nervous system didn't know what to do with safe. My parents were kind of emotionally unavailable. Growing up in that dynamic, you kind of look for that in partners as well. So I ended up with emotionally unavailable men back to back to back. That brings me to my next point. For a while, what I felt like the relationship was lacking was him being a true leader. He would defer to me to make a lot of decisions because he felt like I was more intelligent than him. He would want me to like plan stuff. He would want me to just like make a lot of choices that I felt like the man should make. And I just didn't want to do that. I wanted like a leader in the way that I saw leader, how I.
Now, let me clarify this, okay? Because I believe that she's on capping on this part big time. I believe that it wasn't the point that he was trying to delegate her to do all the planning and stuff for her, right? Or for them, right? I believe that since he started learning about her behavior, right? What he started doing is that he started adapting, okay? Because before he was in a relationship with her, he knew how to do all that planning and stuff. He knew how to plan for different things and plan for this and that and that. But he started adapting to her. The reason why is because she mentioned earlier that she was the one who was toxic. She was the one who was in these type of abusive relationship. Now, in this type of abusive relationship that she's mentioned, right, I guarantee that she dealt with a simp ass dude who was controlling. Right? So by her dealing with a man who was controlling and didn't allow her to be in control, right? In return, guess what she did to him? She started demanding control to him. She started demanding that you have to do these certain type of things, this certain type of way, because this is part of my happiness. And she'll throw it in his face, stated that this is the relationship that I was in the past, and I don't want to deal with it in this relationship. In other words, developing an unrealistic expectation. So she was the one who was doing that. She was the one who was manipulating him to the point to where he just surrendered to that. He surrendered to that and he adapted to it. You're like, you know what? It's not that damn serious to me in a way. Hell, go ahead. What do you want to do today? What do you want to eat? And so since he giving that to her, keep in mind, she still have a toxic mentality, right? She have a toxic mindset. She had a toxic mindset that she want Buddy to control her. So by him doing that, guess what? In her mind, now the dude is a beta.
Beta.
The dude is an absolute beta in her mind now. So that's why she's saying what she's saying about him.
Viewed it. But like, knowing that he has weaknesses and that I have strengths, and then deferring to me where he's weak and letting him take the reins where he's strong is leadership. Like, okay, he could lead when it comes to protecting and providing and whatever, but he may have needed help with planning and stuff that he's not so good at. But I just couldn't see that at the time because I was dumb. I thought I needed 10 out of 10 boxes checked. But relationships are not found, they are built. Soulmates are built. Boxes can be built. If the person is at 7 or 8 and the last 2 need some work, you can meet them halfway. They can meet you halfway. Adjustments can be made. You don't have to break up. So though he had 8 of my 10 boxes, I was still too traumatized to accept him. I couldn't regulate my own nervous system fully yet. I had gotten to that point at 25 and met a very abusive man at 26, and I lost all my progress. So I still needed chaos, and I ruined it. The next guy I dated after that ended up being another avoidant who was emotionally unavailable and ended up breaking my heart worse than anybody else I'd ever experienced in my entire life. So I got my karma pretty fast, I guess. Let this be a lesson. If you've met someone who's good, they protect you.
So through all that, she ended up fumbling this good dude, right? End up getting into another one toxic relationship, and the cycle repeat. Now remember, I gave y'all that analogy about that woman, and she's picking her fruit, and it becomes contaminated, right? And so guess what? After she contaminate the good fruit, right, she throw it aside, and now she's trying to climb up and find other fruit and stuff, right? At this point, all fruit look the same to her. The reason why is because she have not took the time out to heal from herself. That's the reason why.
Well, they show up, they love you, but you feel like something's missing or something feels off or whatever the case may be, or it feels boring. Make sure that something is not just the trauma that you're used to. Make sure that, you have healed enough to even receive what they're offering you. You don't need a perfect man. You just need a man that checks enough boxes that you can work with the rest. Anyway, that angel wasn't even on social media like that, so he'll probably never see this, but still, if you do see this, I hope you're doing great.
So, riddle me this. She spent all this time.
I fumbled.
She spent all this time and effort, right, explaining the story to us, right? Explaining how she fumbling this good man end up getting with these old dusty dudes, right? She said that by her doing this on TikTok, that this is a accountability moment for her, correct? So, riddle me this. I'm curious to want to know if she really did hold herself accountable, or she just simply doing this for TikTok. Because also consider this. She stated that after she dealt with the relationship with the good man, right, she ended up getting into another relationship with these other dudes who are toxic, right? And it didn't work out. So at this particular point, learning from the good dude, and once again, learning from this toxic dude, did she hold herself accountable? What do y'all think? Y'all think she held herself accountable? Don't worry. Let's find out if she held herself accountable.
Men, come to the front. This video is for you. A lot of y'all saw my last video and ran straight to the comments like moths flocking to a light. And so many of you commented basically the same thing. So let's talk about it.
All right, so real quick. There were a lot of men who commented on her video, right? And that was pretty much saying the same as that thing that you end up messing up this good guy. This comment that you see on the screen right here is simply reads, this is basically a canon event for the good guy. Now, those of y'all who are not familiar with like anime, you're not familiar with either short stories or manga or, comic books, right? Whenever people mention about a canon event, they're talking about an event where a good guy end up ultimately becoming a villain. That's what they're talking about. That's exactly what they're talking about. So she literally created a canon event of this good dude, telling this dude that he's not good enough for her. And so now sometimes what end up happening, and this dealing with man's mental health, by the way, where that man felt like that he's not good, period. He felt like that everything he's working for was done in vain due to this one woman that he chose. You know what I'm saying? So let's listen.
Men, come to the front. This video is for you. A lot of y'all saw my last video and ran straight to the comments like moths flocking to a light. And so many of you commented basically the same thing. So let's talk about it. You guys called me a dumbass, an idiot. You called me mid. You said I deserve nothing. You said I want abuse. I deserve abuse. You said that I will never find anybody to ever care for me again in my life. And that was all because I told one story about one man that I mishandled years ago because I wasn't healed enough for that relationship. Some of you even went as far as to saying no woman has ever said that before. Are y'all okay? Do you know how crazy that sounds to think that I'm the only woman that's ever reflected back on a relationship and decided that, you know, I moved wrong and I should have done things differently? Be serious. This video was not a sign that all women finally get it and can take accountability. It wasn't a victory speech or a rallying cry for all the good guys. I'm literally just one woman saying that I wasn't ready at the time and I wish I had been. Instead of
So she literally admit in this video stated that this video literally was an accountability video, which she stated in the first video that it was accountability moment for her. When I was listening to the first video, I knew immediately that this woman was not holding herself accountable. What validated that is when this woman was sort of stating that she was looking for chaos. Okay? She was simply looking for chaos. Now, I also want y'all to consider this. She looked back into the comment section of the first video and she noticed that man was sitting up here literally talking about her. In other words, these men not only talking about her, but they trying to hold her accountable for her said behavior that she presented on social media. Instead of her having an accountability moment, she decided to indulge into the chaos like a lot of what modern women do. They decide to indulge in the chaos. They decide to indulge into the drama and to address the drama. Hence, this is what she's doing right now.
receiving my message with maturity, you guys took that as a license to unleash all the bitterness and hate and resentment you have stored up towards women who have left you in the past. Mind you, this is one man that I followed. If there were 99 other guys that I had dated or had a crush on or liked or talked to or whatever the case may be, 99 ended because they just were not up to par, or they were disrespectful, or they were demeaning, or they just didn't have it, or they were.
So she's using that narrative saying that, hey, if I dated 99 men, right, and 99 of them just didn't qualify, then that means that it's literally the man's fault. Don't this sound familiar? Ain't this the same as that thing that she said about the good guy in the first video, where she literally said that, hey, the good guy in the video, he just wasn't good enough because he didn't check these certain check boxes that I wanted out of him. So you mean to tell me that 99 men, right, you didn't find now one that would sound suitable for you? I don't think that's necessarily the 99 men fault in that situation. I honestly believe that that's an accountability moment that is your fault, because you honestly don't know what you're looking for in a woman, nor you are not healed, neither.
Good guys. 99. This is the one. Y'all in my comments are in the 99. If you're calling women trash, saying that I'm the reason why you're done with dating, saying that I deserve abuse, saying that I'm gonna end up being alone the rest of my life, or whatever else you guys are saying, you're not a good guy. You're not a good man. I don't care if you think you are. Good men do not move like that. Good men don't gleefully tear women down in the comments. They don't laugh. They don't at their friends to come and join in on their whatever the heck that is, bullying and harassment. Good men don't use one woman's story of accountability.
And this is the reason why I had shared that first thing with y'all earlier about Buddy crashing out, because she was saying that women don't do that. She said that good men don't be sitting up here doing that, getting into the comment section, be sitting up here laughing and talking about people wishing this on different people, right? And she also said that good women don't do that as well too. But yet and still, on that video that I shared with y'all earlier, right? So not this particular chat, but there was chats that was doing the same as that thing to him, where they were sitting up here laughing at him. They were saying that there was something wrong with him. They were belittling him and all kind of stuff. Men and women were doing that. So,
to justify their hatred of all women. This story was not for you to weaponize against women. It literally wasn't even about you at all. This is my page and my brand is to be honest, always show proof, not lie, talk about my real life and my real stories, and try to help other people with my message. This was personal reflection that I happened to post. Every single person on earth has fumbled somebody that's good for them, men and women alike. And if you can't listen to a woman speak about that without spiraling.
So she said every person on the face of this earth have fumbled somebody that was good to them. Do y'all believe that the story is true? I don't believe that the story is true because I'm one of them men who haven't fumbled somebody that was good for me. I haven't. Maybe there are other men out there that could admit to that. Maybe there are other women out there who could admit to that. But me personally, I never have fumbled a good woman. Never in my life. But however, it been the other way around where women definitely fumbled a good man for real. And that's facts. That's facts. Because it's interesting because I hear this on narrative too where women would say this. Women would say that we have female intuition. We have this strong intuition where we could discern certain things, right? But yet it's still, women have this intuition, but when it comes to you discerning the good man, your intuition didn't tell you that this dude is good and you need to work on yourself? You mean tell me that your intuition wasn't working like that? Or however, you mean to tell me that your intuition wasn't that good where you end up getting with these old dusty dudes? Because I'm confused on that. So do women intuition only work when y'all want it to work? I'm just saying.
Disgusting hate speech. The problem is not me. It's very clearly you. This story was not some green light for misogyny. It was simply just me saying I could have loved that man better. That's it. I'm not trying to get him back. I have his number. I'm not blocked. I don't need to reach back out. It's just I could have loved him better. If you're watching this and you're with a man that you're a little bit unsure about or feels boring or whatever, don't do what I did. That's it. That's literally it. If you're actually a good man, you can show it by leading with compassion, empathy, and understanding. These are actual good man traits. It's not being disrespectful and disgusting and degrading to a freaking internet stranger who simply posted their story.
So you hear this particular story, right? And so now she did this whole rebuttal trying to explain to us once again the definitions of a good man, even though she the one who fumbled the good man, all right? She made that conscious decision that she's going to fumble the good man, and she also made that conscious decision that afterwards she decided to enter into another toxic relationship. So I'm curious to, even by her explaining this, I'm kind of curious to what was the end results behind this. Guess what? Urban got it. Let's find out what was the end result of this, and I promise y'all this final video tonight. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Let's hear the end result out of all of this to see how the way she handled this situation and see what she is currently doing right now in this situation to better herself. Okay, check this out.
Unhinged story time about when I went out and every guy that hit on me, I took their number, and at the end of the night I invited them all back to my apartment to compete for my love. True story. Side note, again, no psychoanalysis needed. So
instead of her learning about the errors of her ways, instead of her going and improving herself as a woman, she decided to go out on multiple dates, and she decided to not only go out on multiple dates, she decided to have multiple men compete for her toxic ass love.
That's bullshit.
That's what she said.
Unhinged story time about when I went out and every guy that hit on me, I took their number, and at the end of the night I invited them all back to my apartment to compete for my love. True story. Side note, again, no psychoanalysis needed. So this happened a few years ago. Again, I'm going to make a series called...
Oh, by the way, when she said no psychoanalysis needed, in other words, she don't want people to have constructive criticism. She want to be in control of her own narrative, like I told y'all earlier about how the way she is, how toxic she is. She wants to be in control. She don't want nobody to hold her accountable.
Called dumbest things I've ever done, and this might land around like number 3 because I've done some really dumb stuff. I went out with my 2 friends, Juan and Francesca, and I just kind of wanted to like see what was happening. I wasn't really even trying to do too much, but I guess I'm just a very extra person, and when I get an idea, no one can convince me not to do it. I'm not afraid of danger. Danger is afraid of me. So I'm going through the night. I'll post my outfit, of course, per usual, overlay my outfit so you guys can see what I was wearing. And I'm talking to guys, and they're talking to me.
Wait a minute, hold on. I didn't even see that outfit when I was reviewing this. Hold on, let's see that. Let me blow it up real quick, y'all. Lord Jesus. Why? So this is the outfit that she chose to go out on this alleged date night. All right. Continue.
You can see what I was wearing. And I'm talking to guys, and they're talking to me. I'm just like collecting numbers. And, you know, at the end of the night, I was kind of bored. We were sitting down, and I was like, I'm going to invite all those dudes.
Wait a minute. She keep flashing stuff. Hold up. Let me see this other pic. So now she's at this, look like she's at a club. She went to this club and she's sitting down in a goddamn sectional.
What?
Chilling up in a sectional.
Down, and I was like, I'm going to invite all those dudes back to my apartment. I think it's important to know.
Wait a minute, stop flashing stuff. You're doing this on purpose. Let me see. Now we being nosy. All right. So here's the one text message. I guess it's from one of the dudes. She said, Y'all still out. I wanted to say bye before you left. Still, that's crazy. It's empty. They say, I'm coming. I'm about to host a game night. At my house. They say, can I come?
I think it's important to note that I loved entertaining at my apartment. I had a really nice apartment. It had crazy high ceilings. It was.
Oh, so that was her inviting people to come over to her house after the club for alleged game night. Damn.
What?
A great location in Charlotte, and people would just come to my back door. My patio faced the street, and I would just let them in, like friends of mine, of course. Like, people did not have to announce themselves to come over. I was always cooking. I was always entertaining. I was always just like doing whatever. I was just very social during that particular summer when all of this stuff went down. Now, again, my friends, like I said in my last video, they all support me. These people do not, like, I don't think I've ever had a friend be like, Brittany, don't do that. No, they go along with whatever the hell I'm talking about. So they were like, okay. And
so real quick, this just a question I'm just throwing out. Why I was seeing like that most Britneys who are black women or the ones who are the fast ones, who are the ones who are like gold diggers and stuff. Like, we got Brittany here, we got Brittany Renner. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it that Britneys always be the ones who be doing this whole word fast toxic stuff?
Went home. He went back to my apartment, and the people started to arrive at my place. And I'm gonna post a picture because I backed up and took a picture of my kitchen.
Okay, she took a picture of her kitchen with all these people that she just alleged invited from the club.
I'm like, why are all these strangers in my house right now? Like, did they really actually come over? And they did. So when I realized that these men were actually coming, I kind of chickened out because that's extremely unhinged and crazy to do in the first place. So I invited like 2 other girls over just to kind of balance out the scales or whatever the case may be. And yeah, we ended up like taking a couple of shots and having a decently fun get together at my house. Yes, the men were pulling me aside, trying to talk to me one by one. And it kind of was like being on a love dating show in that moment. And somehow, some way, I came out of that unscathed. No one else ever came back to my house. No one else ever tried to do anything. One guy had an attitude. He was like, why would you do this? Why would you?
All right, so in this text message she's showing, it said, laugh my ass off. So you was friendly with niggas last night and was telling me don't be friendly? So when you She said, huh? Then he said, so when you see me hug my coworker, you said don't be out here being friendly, but all those niggas was flirting with you at the club. Apparently, you invited them over. Wow.
God damn.
Have me over here with all these other dudes, and I had no explanation because why would I do that? No clue. Everyone ended up leaving at like 4 a.m, and I only ever talked to like 1 or 2 of them after that. A recurring theme in my stories is like, how do I always end up okay? Like, I don't know myself, but I guess God just has always been looking over me in my life because I do really dumb stuff and I make it out.
So she considered this as dumb things. She considered this as dumb things that she do. I ain't gonna lie to her. It is some dumb stuff for real. Really is. So she literally went to the club with her homegirls and allegedly homeboy or whatever, right? Went to the club. She started acting like a what niggas do in the club, right? Hey, fellas, y'all know what I'm talking about. When we be up in the club, right? You go up in the club and you just make it a contest to see how many numbers you get. She literally became that nigga, going around trying to get phone numbers from different dudes. And on top of that, she was literally inviting strangers to her house. She invited all these niggas over to her house. And so she could feel, she literally did a Sinners moment, right? Those of y'all who seen the movie Sinners, y'all know where I'm going with this. She literally did a Sinners moment where she literally invited these dudes into her house, right? And now she got all these dudes chilling and drinking and doing different things like that, right? And she's starting to feel some type of way. And she said, you know what? Let me go ahead and call out my homegirls and invite them over so we could balance it out. And so now she got all these dudes that she don't know with her homegirls that she do know, but her homegirls don't know these dudes. So she literally created a toxic, unsafe place, even though all of this was occurring in her apartment. Hell, to be quite honest with you, it seemed like she low-key was forming a goddamn Diddy party. It literally seemed like that. It literally seemed like that she was low-key forming a Diddy party without the baby oil and different things like that. And keep in mind that she didn't go into details of the story. She only told us what she wanted us to hear in the story. So she didn't say that, hey, these dudes walk up to me and they start trying to flirt with me and things like that, and I invite them into the room and we really did have a Diddy moment. She didn't say none of that, you know what I'm saying? She left out all of that. She just said, yeah, we had a good time and I just kicked them all out, you know what I'm saying? And I thank God that nothing didn't happen. Wow. And so going back to this original concept about her, right? She did all this to fumble a good man. To go with all these dusty dudes that she invited into her apartment simply because this woman is toxic. So to be quite honest with y'all, at the end of the day, right? Guess who ended up winning in this situation? It wasn't her. It was Buddy, the good dude. He ultimately ended up winning in this situation simply because he don't have to put up with her toxic ass. Facts. Yeah, he don't have to put up with her at all, period. Just imagine this. Just imagine if this dude was in a serious relationship with her and she decided that she wanted to do the same damn thing, that one day she would just say, hey, I'm going to go to the club. Are we going to the club together? No, that's me and my homegirls. Then next thing you know, she in a full relationship, right? And she go to the club and she started inviting people to come over to her house again. Yet and still, she's in a full relationship. Buddy ended up finding out about it. She got all these people at her house, all these niggas in her house and stuff, right? And guess what she's going to say to this dude? She's going to tell this dude to stop being insecure. You need to stop being insecure and trust me. After when she was in the club talking to these niggas. So in reality, Buddy the one who came out on top of this situation, not her. I'm just saying. But it's just like I say, it's interesting that modern women do this every single time to good men. Where these good men literally do everything possible so they could qualify for the type of women that they're looking for. But instead of them getting that type of woman that they're looking for, they always get these old low-hanging fruit women, right, who come into their space, disrupt their space, disrupt their peace and everything, right, end up on messing them up. You know what I'm saying? So to be honest with y'all, the moral of the story for the men is this. The moral of the story is that whenever you want going out and looking for women, right, to be in a relationship or even to marry them, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you do everything possible to vet out these women. Don't let these women sit up here manipulate you. Don't let these women continue to present to them this agent of them. Ask open-ended conversations where they have no other choice but to present who they truly are to you, so you can make a logical decision about them. Don't be looking at this woman based on how the way she look, her body type or anything like that, because I know men are visual, but we have to get past that visual part. We have to get past that visual part and start discerning women based on where their mind is at, where their spirit is at as well too. Because if not, you're gonna be just like Buddy, this good guy, who ended up getting caught up with this old toxic ass woman. So other than that, y'all, that's all I got for this particular show. All right. Appreciate everybody want tuning in. Constance, she said, Urban, not bad, just came back. Had to want to get off real quick. No, you good, Constance. You good. Lina says she's created her own definition of a good man, like what a lot of modern women do. They always like to create their own definitions. Lina know what I'm talking about. But, you know, he know what I'm talking about because we was on another show and I was on the panel debating women, and they was literally making their own definition about something. So that's neither here nor there. But, yeah. Lionel asked, he said, Urban, how often women are doing this to men? I believe women are doing this pretty often. Where I picture it this way, I believe modern women are doing this pretty often to these said type of men. Where they the one don't know what they're looking for. They the one who don't know what they want or anything like that. But they have the expectation for that man to be their damn therapist and help them figure it out. But on the other end of the spectrum, right, they literally sit up here and tell that man that I'm not your therapist. It is your job to get yourself together, to fix yourself. But they don't want to go through the whole process of fixing themselves. So just like I say, all right, appreciate everyone tuning in to the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Y'all let me know about this content, how you feel about this content, how you feel about the first half of the show, and also let me know how you feel about the second half of the show as well too. Do you agree with the assessment I gave on this, or do you disagree with it? By all means, let me know either in the chat or in the comment section. All right, because I do read not only the chat but the comments as well too. All right, so appreciate y'all tuning into this particular show. Make sure y'all hit the one thumbs up as y'all exit out the lounge. I always appreciate my moderators as well too, doing a hell of a good job like always. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all so much. And other than that, we out this mug, y'all. Y'all have a great and wonderful night, and I will see y'all again on the next episode.